Alright, see how that all plays out. Okay. Everything looks like it should be up and running. In theory, at least. Alright. So we just jumped back in. Oh, okay, let's talk about what we got done. Basically, a whole lot of mining. Actually, I think we may be still running some really, that's all the ore we have left? Alright. I'm not going to complain. Okay, let's go into the refineries. I'm going to move this stuff over. Does that mean that's all the nickel we have left? Man, I mined like 2 million stone. That's all the nickel I have left. Alright. Let's show you what we've gotten done. So, happy Friday, everybody. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day. We're getting a hell of a late start. I apologize for that. But life is what it is, right? So, I'm just happy I made it. Alright, so let's talk about what we got going on up here. Okay, so what we've done is we've gone ahead and welded up one of the batteries just so we have a little bit of power on board, and started welding up some of the stuff in here, like some of the residential stuff. Hey Jonas, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Happy Friday. And I probably want to replace that with a heavy armor block, because these are all heavy armor blocks. But you know what? We'll leave it. You know, something different, right? Alright, so when we were here last time, we worked on the habitation area, and we worked on, you know, what's going to be the command deck, and we've got our, what's going to be our farms once it's all welded up and patched in. We have our refinery areas, or our power generation areas, rather, sorry. And then our basic industrial stuff. And what we're going to do is, there's actually been a lot of conversation about the way that Warfare and Warfare 2 have modified the combat aspects of Space Engineers. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit. Nothing too intense, but what has been found through the experimentation is that angled blocks of any degree, and I can show you basically either the 2x1s or the 45s, or in some cases, let me see if we can, yeah, these guys, these particular guys, the like 3/4 block that's got the 45 on it, all of those do a minor bit of damage deflection. So depending on the weapon, railguns still penetrate in a couple of blocks, but what will happen is that for some reason, and I haven't gone into the back end of this yet, so I can't confirm exactly what it's doing in the system, but the preliminary tests have shown that if you have anything other than a normal 6-faced block, like a normal square cube, basically instead of a railgun doing, you know, like 18 blocks of damage, it only does like 4 or 5. It basically reduces the damage by about 60% or so. And that seems to be true for the autocannons as well as the artillery. Basically any form of slope block seems to, at least right now, or appears to be, reducing damage penetration. That means the ship design that we have should be, for the most part, okay to take the first hit, but the hits after that are probably going to be hitting flat surfaces, and so you're going to see an increased penetration rate on that. So keeping that in mind, what I'm thinking is that I'm going to decentralize our ammo supply system, right? A lot of people traditionally have had a single area for storage, like, you know, we have that one storage container there. Instead of having that be our ammo storage, what we're going to do is have that be raw material storage. And then we're going to have a production line that will feed into, we'll do a one-wave push into some sub-assemblers that will be set up with speed mods to produce our ammo for us. So that way we'll have a small buffer of ammo, like we'll have a cargo container with maybe enough for 3 reloads or something like that per turret supported off of that line. Just so that we have a little bit of a buffer there. But if we can get our production rate higher than the rate of consumption on the turrets, we can follow what's called a just-in-time service model. So basically, we'll have assemblers pumping out material slightly faster than that material is being consumed, and then once it hits a certain buffer, it'll stop production until our levels drop below that buffer level. So what this means is we're gonna put some programming blocks in, obviously, but we're gonna deal with some queuing on here, and we're gonna have systems that are set up specifically, or assemblers that are set up specifically to deal with just ammo production, and we're gonna do that for both the port and starboard sides. And I'm thinking we may do that on the aft portion as well. So these assemblers will be our parts manufacturing for repairs, right? But we'll have, say, probably tucked into the hull, like in this area somewhere. Because we're going to have our cannons, we're going to have some cannons on turret mounts on this line. And so that'll help reduce the potential for cascading damage effects from basically our ammo racks being destroyed. Because ammo is explosive now, just like the demolition charges or the explosive charges. And so that'll hopefully, if one of those are hit and we basically lose that assembler, it'll be a localized loss and not a catastrophic loss. It is possible to produce ammo as fast as you can shoot it with the turrets. What you have to do is look at what your turret's rate of fire is and the reload timing, and what the rate of production is for ammo. So if you have a small buffer pre-built and you keep a queue running so that you're constantly producing a couple of pieces of ammo, you should be able to stay on top of your ammo consumption. Now, I don't know if that's going to be entirely true. Like, I might need to expand how many assemblers we're dealing with, but I'm going to start with 3 assemblers that are fully upgraded for speed, for production speed. And so that should hopefully keep us ahead of the ammo ammo consumption. And that is going to be coming off of this line. So we're going to do... Oh, I need to grab some conveyor blocks. Itchy face. Okay. Let's grab some plates. I should have some interior plates floating around in here somewhere, right? Yes, I do. Okay. Can I drop... You're in all of the assemblers, huh? We'll drop that in there. Okay, so that's going to come in this line here. So that's one step in from the line. Should also be one step in from the line. And that's going to feed our assembler array, which are going to be these guys. Now I'm going to change those so that they... and that's going to go... Boop. Oh, your steel plates. That's right. Alright, so let's Grab a bunch of those. And we have this. Make sure we're. That's what I thought. Okay. So we're going to do that. And so we're going to have 1, 2, 3. And we should be able to get the same over on this side. 1, 2, and 3. Now this is going to be expensive. Now you're not going to be able to do this on smaller builds, obviously. Mainly because of the fact that you're just not going to have the room for them, and probably power production. But we're going to give it a try. Zeros for now. And so we're going to end up with a whole lot of these. And come over here and do this again. And there. Now we have to do the same on the bottom, but that's okay. We'll do those in a second. Let's just go ahead and get this all in here. But I know a couple of people were asking why were we doing things in this way, and this is one of the reasons why we were building with so much basically open space in here. The other portion is that I wanted to keep it so that it would help not destroy things when stuff blows up. Basically be able to have a little bit of extra thickness on the armor. For things like these areas, specifically where we're going to have the ammo racks, what we're going to do is we're going to actually use the blast door block protection system. Right, so that's going to go there. And what I want this to do is we're going to have... I kind of want it there, but I want to have a sorting block in there. So what I think we're going to have to do, let's do that. We're going to put a sorter in, and we're going to have Bob pop this block for us. And we're going to do the same on the other side. Let's go back to the black. Do that to there, and then have him pop that one. All right. And so that gets us our cargo block in here. We've got all of our assemblers in. And we're going to do small cargo here. Basically doing everything we can to minimize the chance that the ship goes boom.
Energy low.
Alright. And then that allows us to feed back to whatever turret systems we're doing. Now, because we're going to have primary weapons up here, we're going to have a couple of railguns mounted in here. We'll have a line that comes through to feed the railguns. And I don't want these to be cargo containers. Basically, I'm trying to keep the production lines as streamlined as possible. And I mean, we could even put a cargo block here and just have both of those arrays feeding our front line. How long does it take? I'm gonna have to check that. I'm gonna have to do some tests to find out what our assembler speeds are looking like. But that should be enough to feed 2 or 3 railguns on the front line there. Okay, so that gets us those set up. And I'm thinking we're gonna have see, the question comes in is, do I want to put turrets out here on the wings? I think I want to put turrets out on the wings. But the question is do I want to put, which turrets do I want to put out here is the question, I guess. Because we actually have a couple of options here that we haven't really looked at too much. There's obviously these guys, all the vanilla stuff, right? But we also have, where is the MA weapons? There we go. We also have these things. So we have things like lasers and different types of, you know, turrets. And I think the gantry, I want to use a couple of the gantry turrets. I just kind of like the way they look.
Energy critical.
So I'm thinking we need to figure out where do we want to put a couple of these guys. And we are running low on power, which is fine, because we can do that. It's only here for charging. Hey, Fal, how you doing? Yeah, I was actually got a late start today. We're like an hour behind schedule. But, you know, things happen, unfortunately. Hey, Brian, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Happy Friday to the folks who have shown up, and, you know, we're Saturday, if that's the case may be. We got a bunch of stuff welded up since the last time we were together. I'm getting flashbacks from lunch. Okay. So, yeah, that gets us our basic stuff. I don't know why. There's just something about the idea of having gantry-style weapons I think is actually kind of entertaining. And we have, you know, because we have the ability to have them angled, including 30 degrees, and these are the ones I'm probably going to use. I mean, those just look cool though, right? So what I'm thinking is you've got a conveyor on the back line there, right? Alright, so if we have... Actually, I need to get one... Oh, those are the thrusters, aren't they? The reactors are there. Which means I'm going to need to feed a line through, which is actually not difficult to do. So if we go... Alright, so let's go, let's plan this here. So if we do assemblers, so we'll do a conveyor there, and then that would allow us to do conveyor, or assembler. And remember, there's going to be large thrusters here, so this is all going to be encased in armor. What I may need to do then is we say something like this, maybe. And yeah, that'll give us 2 there. And then maybe put one of the cargo. I mean, I could actually run them this way as well. So the problem that I'm trying to work around is that no matter where we put these guys, it's going to be potentially dangerous because we're going to have cargo on it at some point. So if we do that, that means you're going to be our expansion stuff. Alright, I need to flip you around. So what we're going to do is we're only going to have 3 upgrade modules on this one. And then we'll run the line down to central supply, probably pass that through, like under here somewhere, and have it run this way. And so then that will tie in here-ish. That should be there. And then that can, that's what, 1 in, 2, so it comes up into the wall here, which is actually going to be a battery. So if I go, and that's going to be a thruster here, so that means this one's going to have to come out. What we'll do is we'll run a conveyor junction here. And that way they'll have the pipe there. And you are going to be same on this side, which is that block. And so you go there. One goes there. And so we'll have that feeding into that, and you will do the same there. And that gives us our production line, or our access to our line down that way. This one goes here. All right. And that means this guy is going to have a line that comes down. We'll have probably 1 ammo pack like in the middle of the thruster assembly, so it'll sit probably somewhere around here and feed into a couple of the... Hey Zookster, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Lasers have blocks to join the beams? A like some kind of condenser? Maybe. I haven't checked them in a while. A beam convergence device? That's a good question. I don't think so. Now Krieg actually has one of his weapons is it's a beam weapon, but it's built off of the basis of a chain gun. And what he did is he built it so that they stack, so you can put them in line with each other. And because of the way that the sequencing on them works, it looks like a constant beam. Like the firing animation is a constant beam, but it's actually like hundreds of small projectiles. But yeah, like I said, I don't think they have any of that for the current systems, at least not in that regard. But there are mods out there that do. And then we have the Gimbal Laser, which I may put a couple of these in. Thinking maybe the big lasers. But we may mount a couple of these for our forward firing array. Hey Percy, welcome to the stream. Happy Friday. All right. So now we're talking about these guys. Need to mount that up just one. I was kind of wanting to mount that down, which means I'd have to move the thrusters down one block. Which, I mean, we have the room for it. We could do that. And I'll leave those attached there, but it means we do lose that. Alright. And I could move those thrusters up one. I kind of wanted them to fall in line with where we were on there. Man, it'd be nice if we had thrusters that had cargo pass-throughs on them, like conveyor pass-throughs. Because in real life they would have conveyors running through these things, right? It's like anything that you can get away with sacrificing space to make everything else more convenient. Right, so, because the only place these have a connector is there. All right, so you know what? Hell with it. Let's go ahead and do this. So we'll run you there. I think we'll do 2 spaces, and then can we do 1, 2? That would be 2 spaces, yeah? This one's going to be questionable. I don't know if we're going to get that one in there or not. Mainly because of the fact that the way I want to have this tie in. Yeah, I think that's... Honestly, I think those are going to be too high. Damn. I may have to reposition those. Where I'm going to reposition them, I have no bloody clue. Let's see. Alright, so if we do... yeah. So I have to bring those in this way. So if we bring those in here... that might work like that. And you're going to be the same because you're going to come back here. Which means all of this gets blocked in now, which is fine. I'm actually not worried about that.
Energy low.
And so we end up with that. Alright, and then basically what that allowed me to do is to have these guys fold through here. And then we go to the corner blocks. Actually. Blocks. There they are. Yes, you guys. Yeah, so we have figured out it's basically something like that. We have to come through and sculpt it all out. I'm not too worried about it, but yeah, it should give you an idea. And we'll have those there. I mean, I might be able to get away with a second one of those here. I was going to do that, though. It'd probably be better to move it back one. So then you'd have one here and one there. But I do still want to have one of these back here somewhere. I mean, I could probably get away with that. So if we did that, no, it would have to be back on this one for it to work. That way we could slope everything down and blend it in. So we're going to end up with these basically blending in, and so I'm going to have it kind of curve out and down and blend into this forward section. I'm just not sure how we're going to make that all work yet. Hey Jeremy, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. But I think we can get away with having this one back here in a super firing position, or more of a super firing position. And then I'm not sure how we're going to run the ones down on the bottom. The ones that we're going to put on the bottom, we'll probably be able to get away with just having them kind of exist there. That makes sense. And what I'm going to need to worry about down here is going to be thrusters. So we are going to need to put these guys in at some point. So you're going to have pipes, you're going to have conveyors. And I want at least one row. So I'll probably end up with something like that. One there, we'll have to take that stuff apart. We did what? Directly up against it, right? Yeah. So if we do something like that, and then again, we'll have another one here. That gives us, if we really need to, we can drop one in the middle. That'll give us some decent braking thrust.
No energy.
Ah crap, ah crap, ah crap. Quick, 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 quick. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, okay. Oh, thankfully we seem to have been bugged with the... We're in a shield, so it's counting it as pressurized even though we're not. So it gives us a little bit of extra time. Yeah, no, the leaky red, or the leaky Redship. Yeah, the leaky O2 one is Tuesday's stream. Let's see. All right, so if we do that, that means we should be okay. You come out. No, actually, you would need to come out, wouldn't you? Crap. Oh, I don't want to slow down our production stuff for these, because these are going to be feeding big guns as well as little guns. So if I move it back one, yeah, so we're going to move it back one and out one. Alright, so you are going to go... Alright, so that was there before. So we're going to move it out here. Yeah, yeah, okay. And then that will give us the option. Hey, Cuz. Wow, thanks for the pesos, man. Holy crap. Reforged. Oh, the new Reforged Eden's coming out? I might have to jump back in for that one then. Yeah, maybe we'll change one of the days if it comes out. What, Spange really isn't going to do the new one? Wow, surprised. But yeah, no, dude, seriously, thanks for the pesos, man. Appreciate it. Well, if Spange isn't going to do it, sure, I'll probably drop it on it then. That's going to be weird not seeing Spange in Emporium, man. That's that's rather nuts. Okay, and then that's going to feed into this network somehow. I'm not sure which way we're going to feed the lines yet, but we'll figure it out here in a bit. Okay, so that gets us those. We're going to go this way. And we're going to do basically the same thing we did on the other side. That's going to come forward and forward. And yeah, actually, with the last big alpha update or the last big update that they did, I want to say 2 months ago, a month ago, I jumped back into Emporium on my downtime just to check it out, see what had changed, and wow, has that game changed. For those who don't know, when I started playing Emporium, there was the only scenario was on a single planet. There was no skill tree, and you started with a ship that you basically had to rebuild. So, but yeah, been a long time. It's been interesting to watch watch that game develop. It's kind of like Space Engineers in that the development team really does care about the game. They just don't always seem like it, if that makes sense. Really good group of developers. I've actually had the pleasure of virtually meeting not an insignificant number of people on that team, actually, come to think of it. But yeah, so I'll probably jump back in on it. But yeah. Okay, so let's get here. Alpha 5. It was a good time to get in on it. That was what, like right before they put the skill tree in, I think. I think Alpha 6 was the one that they put the skill tree in. I'm not gonna lie, I've never been a fan of their skill tree system, but I liked it better in the early days when there was no leveling up to do things, but it's also one of the reasons why I don't play with the progression system in Space Engineers. But yeah, now that you have like environmental effects and it's crazy stuff. One of the things that folks who don't like Space Engineers because of the having to figure out like your supply lines and things, you might enjoy Emporium because of the fact that they have if it's attached to the grid, you can access it. Now the system is you actually assign an input and output hopper. So you have your supplies come into one container, and you can actually tell it, I want everything that comes out of this one crafting station to go into this one container. So a lot of the things that you have to use scripts or mods for in Space Engineers, you can actually do natively. The reskill tree is good. Let's take a look. Alright. Anyway, let's get in here. So that gets us 4 turrets on the upper section. I'll probably do some flat turrets on the lower section. Thrusters there. So I'll probably do a couple of the gantry turrets in here. And we'll just do flat packs on these. I mean, I guess we could get away with that. But then we run into the supply line issue again. I guess if we went there with it. So I need the bottom. So they actually have gantry systems for bottom mounted weapons. Float 45, undersloped gantry. Which way is that gantry set up? That gantry is set up that way, yeah? Trying to figure out how they've got these set. That's 45. slope 30, 150, 45, 45, slope 30. So they've only got them set up for one direction on this one. Okay, that's fine. We'll make it work. So if we do that, I want to see if that will clear so that we can actually put in. Yep, it does. We'd be able to put our supply line there, and possibly trim that out. So basically, have it run up. Maybe even have it step in over, which would actually work really well because then that would allow us to feed from multiple lines if we needed to. Hey Robert, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Happy Friday. I'm doing pretty good actually. It's you know, a quiet Friday. I'm just running a little bit late, so it's a little later in the afternoon than I was planning for, but you know, it's all good. Okay, so I think that's what we're going to do with it, is we'll have one of these mounted on both sides. I don't know if I have room on the other side for this, set aside for it, like I do over here. I do. I think what we'll do is I'll hold off on putting those in for right now. We'll get the bulk of the ship welded up, and then we'll figure out where we're going to put these. That way I can figure out where I want to do, how I want to do the armor and how I want to cut things into it. Because realistically, I wasn't planning on the ship being as tall as it is. What I want to do is basically we'll have a double layer here. I'll show you real quick. So we'd have another layer there. You'll be like so. Excuse me. And then we'll have an outer line being here and basically mirror what we have down below. And then from here, let's see, we would have it fold up and over. Do I have any? I wonder if I have anything. Let's get the rest of these blocks on the line so we can actually go through our options here. So probably have it do something where it comes up. I mean, we could even go that way with it. And then we just run the lines across so that we can actually get this, get it sloped and get it styled up. I don't know if I'd go that way, if I want to go. Might go that way with it, I don't know. But yeah, just to give you an idea of what we're looking at here. But I would need this line basically to match up over here somewhere. And then we'll carry that back. Looks like I am out of O2. I am. Let's go refill ourselves. I also have a feeling that our turrets may pick a fight for us. I guess not. Hey Captain, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Alright. So it's starting to come together. We've got the majority of a ship there. What we really need to do is get this thing welded up. We now have what our primary propulsion. We have retro thrust, which is going to be fractional based off of the forward velocity, our primary propulsion. We've got laterals, we've got ascent and descent, so should be good. Oh, gravity drives. I have bad memories of gravity drives. I used to love them, and honestly I still do. Okay, so for those who don't know, to make gravity drives, you end up using gravity generators and artificial mass blocks. If your ship is never planning on going into an atmosphere, they're awesome because they allow you to basically fall through space in various directions. And you can get them going pretty good. I've seen gravity drive based ships that are more nimble than they deserve to be. The only reason I tend to not make them is I remember when they used to be able to work in atmospheres, and I kind of miss those days. Yeah, you do. You just need one mass block and gravity generator. It's more fun when you have multiples, though. Yeah. Yeah, but just basically changing the direction that the gravity is applied is is how you move. Of course, they're more efficient than thrusters. Oh. If I was doing a PvP ship, I'd do gravity drive. Straight up. Would not a doubt, especially with everything being so explosive now. If you're in PvP, gravity drives, like a good gravity drive, especially if you're doing only deep space stuff. If you're not doing anything where you need to go into an atmosphere or a natural gravity plane, like if you're landing on moons or something, yeah, gravity drives, hands down, would be the only thing I'd ever use. Yeah, I just miss the days of when you used to be able to land on planets with them. So. Alright, so we need... Let's go ahead and just pop one of those really quick. And put our helmet back on. We'll head back out and get some more work done on this thing. So, but yeah, so what I end up doing is if I do a gravity drive, I have two gravity at the at the most basic level. I usually do two gravity generators and an artificial mass block, because what you can do is you can have, because well, I guess if you use spherical generators, you could get away with just one. It's been a while since I've used a spherical generator, though. I mean, we used to use gravity shields. Spherical generators on reverse, effectively, push things away from the ship. So if you have somebody who had fired like gravity-based weaponry, like you know how some of us build gravity cannons and such. If someone's building that kind of stuff, you can use a spherical gravity generator or two or more to give artificial gravity pushing away from the ship. So anything that can be launched by gravity can be deflected by gravity. But yeah, normally what I do is have basically one gravity generator on the X plane and then one on the Z. So I'd have, I mean, you can get away with 3 of them if you really wanted to. Let's see here. Let's grab, can I be there? Yeah, go. So basically I'd have one gravity generator here, which would take care of, you know, my left to right. And then one gravity generator here, which would be forward, reverse. And then another gravity generator above it, or below it, either way, to give me vertical ascent and descent control. And then you have the artificial mass block here in the middle. And yes, you can get away with one block by doing different things, like you can put them on rotors or you can put them on hinges and such. And I mean, there's all sorts of ways to do it. So, yep, they are round. Do they still work on moon atmospheres? Well, I guess they would, because the moon atmosphere is, depending on the moon, half a G or less. So because they can put out more than a G. So yeah, you'd be able to counter it. I mean, technically, I think you could make it. I saw one work on an Earth-like planet before, but I think somebody had done a bunch of gravity generators. I think they had like 15 gravity generators or something like that. So they basically built an anti-grav thing. But they're not nearly... Once you get into gravity wells, they're not nearly as efficient as some of the other thrusters. I mean, they're still more efficient than ion thrusters in space, but... I'm gonna have to play around with them. I haven't built one in years, so... back when I was building them, they were still better to have multiple artificial mass blocks with gravity generators. And what you could do is set up a script. Like, you could put a artificial mass block on both of these prongs with its own gravity systems. And what you could do is, using timing blocks and a sequence, like if you were building a sequencer on your timing block, you could do run nows on button prompts. And so you could actually do like really, really nimble controls. Like, you'd have this one, say, moving in a vertical in positive climb, and you'd have this one in negative climb to force it to move faster. If you wanted to go faster forward, you'd have 2 or 3 gravity generators all pushing gravity along the path of travel that you want it to follow. I know, right? Alright, so anyway. got a little sidetracked with that. Alright, railguns. We need to put our big guns in. Sure, let's do that. So do I just want to really go silly with it? I might just do that. Because that'll put 2 in. Or I can do that and put 4 in. I mean, it hit really hard. But you're talking about a minute of downtime. Well, no matter what I do, we're talking about a minute of downtime. Yeah, I should probably... would I want to put that way? Yeah, probably do that way. So if I do that... and that... Alright, let's see what else we've got in here. I could do artillery down the center. I'm kind of wanting to use the big autocannons. The assault cannons. Those things are actually really brutal. The Mac cannons. No, I do not. We're not talking about Mac cannons. Nope. Those have been memory hold. That's a memory hold weapon. We're not allowed to discuss those anymore. Oh, man. Those are like Krieg's guns, man. Sheesh. Horizontal? Yeah, I know. They do kind of look... There's something about them laying like that just kind of looks cool. Because you'd have one on one side and one on the other side. The only problem with it is that there's... Actually, is there a feed on that side? No. Just on the back and on the sides. Which, I mean, you can still get away with. Oh. So this is the part that I dislike about building combat ships, is figuring out what weapons I want to put on them. And originally this ship was supposed to be longer. Like it was supposed to, the bow was supposed to terminate out here. And I've condensed it down a bit. So I mean I could make these longer and refactor where the armor meets, which would give me more spacing to put stuff in. Because the more I think about it, the more I'm kind of wanting to have extra weapons on here. I'm thinking that we are gonna do another set of these guys. And so if we do that there, let's bring it over. So we're gonna have 1, 2, 3. I mean, this thing is built to be a warship. Oh, so there we go. JB 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. So having ridiculous numbers of guns is not a bad idea. Make a railgun Gatling gun. Man, somebody's been watching YouTube channels. Where the armor meets the eye, like a railgun to the eye. That's a death sentence. Okay. Oh, a railgun Gatling gun. I could do it. I've done Stranger. Oh, if I do a railgun Gatling gun, I want to put in the. Well, I guess I could do it with just regular. Because it would be what, 30 degrees in betwixt. So would that end up being, that would be something like 12 railguns or something like that, 13 railguns? Man, that would be expensive. It'd be funnier than hell though. See, I thought about doing something like that just because then I'd be able to set up a sequencing fire. And so if you have enough of them, say you have, because each one reloads over the course of a minute, roughly. So if we did that, you know, so it's 60 seconds. If we did 20 of them, you know, you're firing a railgun every 3 seconds. Which could be entertaining. Unless you do small, I could do small railguns, but those are no fun. Well, they are fun, but you know. Oh man, you guys are evil. Stop whispering sweet evilness and devious ideas. Because I could put a rotor in. Like, oh man, I'm actually thinking about this now. Okay, so if I was going to do it, let's take this out for a second here. How big could we get it? I'm going to be in the middle. I want you on the lower side of this. So we'd have to have a conveyor junction. We would have to have an advanced rotor to feed it. All right. And then we would replace the rotor head. Whoop. So we'd add a small rotor head to that.
Energy low.
Which then would require us to do that. I mean, we could even, you know what I could do? I can't believe I'm actually planning this. Okay, where are we at? We want, yeah. All right. I forgot what the connections are on the railgun for the small railgun. They're small conveyors. Oh god, this makes it even easier. Okay. Yep. This is a bad idea. Really bad idea. Alright, so we'd be able to do that. And then we would take you guys. So there'd be one there, one there, one there, one there. Okay. And so you'd have to go something like this. Oh my god, this would be so expensive. So bloody expensive. So you'd have something like that. And then I would have to set it, I'd have to figure out what my angles were so that when whatever position I wanted to be firing, and have a trigger set up so that when something, so when it was at that angle, it would fire those. No, no clang guns. No clang guns. Yeah, I could do hinges between the railguns. Those get messy though, because with even when you lock them, because the railguns have just ridiculous recoil on them, and every time I've put them on a hinge so far, I've had problems with it. Now, like I said, I could do it. If I wanted to get more railguns in here, what we could do. Alright. Let's take you out. Take you out. Grab these 4 off of here, right? So if I want it to do just absolutely asinine stuff. Actually, no, I would actually put those back in, come to think of it. Because what I'd want to do is feed this thing from the rear.
No energy.
Ah, crap. Come on, come on. I have to fix that bug in the shields. I don't know why the shield seems to, even when it's not pressurized. It's because it's a station shield, that's why. It's not a ship shield. I'll have to check to see what my settings are on that. So what everybody's talking about here is putting like this. Bob, stop taking my stuff. My stuff, not your stuff. So if we did something like that, we could feed them this way, because we have that connector bottom center. Alright, so we had 8 before, right? So if we did a hinge, drop you we could do that. I'd only get one there. Damn. Yeah, so we basically end up with 8 either way. Alright, because it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so we'd end up with 8. On the railgun, 2 large advanced rotors. No. Nope. Nope. It would be fun to do. It would be fun to do, but I think with where we are with with this already, I think we're already talking about a little too much firepower on a single ship. I mean, yeah, I'll have to prototype in creative mode. I'm not sure I could build that freehand in survival mode right now. So if I was to do that though, I mean, we're gonna end up with a bunch of super gridding because I'm gonna have to force merges. Other sensors disconnected in there, right? Yeah, having counter-rotating railguns. Oh, my head hurts. That would be both epically impressive and absolutely terrifying. Especially if one of them detonated. The chain effect of that detonation. Well, I guess we are using isolated ammo racks, so I guess that wouldn't be too bad. But no, I'm not going to consider. You guys already have me considering a bloody Gatling gun or railguns. No, I'm not going to start specking out counter rotating. Oh my god, that would be hilarious. You know I'm going to have to do that now, right? Yeah, we'll do that as something else. Yeah, that would. Okay, yeah. No, I need to not be thinking about that because it's just gonna drive me nuts. Oh man. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Is it because you're saying have them on a chain built of hinges between 2 cogs? Yeah, no. That isn't a bad idea, and I'm just thinking of it. How would I take that further? And so what I'm thinking is taking that a step further is having counter-rotating rings of railguns. So you'd have an inner barrel and an outer barrel. So one rotating clockwise and the other one counting antediluvian, anti-clockwise or counterclockwise, depending on which side of the pond you're on. Yeah. Because that way I could have 2 chain guns firing at the same point and have them with different reload and cooldowns. So if I staggered them right, because if I did it at a 2-to-1 ratio, I could have them firing almost constantly without stopping. Too far. That's taking it too far, man. Yeah, so if I did a 2-to-1 ratio on them, which would actually be a really easy gear ratio to do. Oh, that would be hilarious, though. That would give me 1 rotation. So the inner ring would be doing 1 rotation per 1 rotation per minute. The outer one would be doing 2 rotations per minute. So yeah, you could have them firing almost constantly. Hey, Bitfighter, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Oh, we're just trying to figure out if whether or not I'm going to go insane trying to do an inner, like, 2 counter-rotating arrays of railguns. I mean, if we're going to break the game, may as well just break the game, right? Yeah, I think what we'll do is if I'm going to do that, I'll prototype it in creative mode and see what I can get it to do with it. Because I may cheat and use the they have this, there's a ring rotor mod that I still have a copy of. I think it still works. I have to check it. If it does, that would make it ridiculously easy to build those, though. I mean, that would just be absolutely asinine and game breaking. What was I doing? Okay. Yeah, so we'll leave the forward weapons alone for now. We'll talk about these guys. I need to get the supply lines in here, so let's go ahead and get. We're gonna bring it back into the realm of stuff that we're gonna work on currently. Because if I do that, that leaves us 1, 2, 3, 4. We can put an ammo box in here somewhere, probably outwards. Well, I guess we could bury it in line. Let's just bury it in line. All right. And then from here, what we're going to do is, because we don't want it pulling back through the network, we're going to put in a sorter. And then what we'll do is be able to set, basically we'll have a system that pulls directly here. We'll use a queue manager. Well, it sounds like the large turret decided to go pick a fight. Who did hit? Who'd you shoot at? What in the hell are you shooting at? Oh, you decided to pick a... Really? You're shooting at somebody you don't even have a line of sight on? Really? Alright. Yeah, so we're trying to figure out if I was to do counter-rotating rings, how fast could I fire them and basically not stop firing them so that there would be a constant railgun shot going out. So I know that it needs to be stepped at a 2-to-1 ratio. Outer ring being twice the inner ring. It's just a question of how many would I need to put on the inner ring in order to do it. Because basically you'd need to be able to fire one every second. So the inner ring would be what? Because we'd be firing one. That would be firing every 2 seconds. The outer ring would be firing every... Or no, I guess it'd be firing every second. They have a 1-minute recharge. So, yeah, you need like 20 of them or something like that, I think. Flip the large cannon sideways, make them flush with the flow of the wings. For the railguns? Yeah, definitely. 2 rows of batteries. Yeah. So we've got some good turrets in here. We're gonna have more turrets on the bottom. I think I may cheat out and do the flat gantry ones. That way I can put them in super firing positions. All right. And then for those who don't know, when I say super firing, what that means is that it has to be able to clear. It has basically a clear rate or clear radius of fire or line of sight in almost 360. A true super firing has a full 360 arc of fire. Basically, it can point anywhere on the flat 360. So they basically can fire over the other turrets and such. So, yeah. Alright, let's get the rest of these in place. I keep getting distracted. We'll get that in. That's in. That's our sorting. Right, you're a sorting block, right? Yeah, okay. And you're patched in. Okay, so that feeds our lines. That allows me to put, I'm probably going to put some heavy armor between these blocks. Basically frame this in, and then we'll put some blast door blocks under that. Just to give us some interior spaced armor. And then that'll probably continue down. You're going to be fed from this area, which is going to come off of this array. Did I put a cargo box in here? I don't think I put a cargo box in here. Got a conveyor junction. Instead of a conveyor junction, let's go ahead and
Energy low.
we'll cargo box that. It's just one less thing to have to deal with. Alright. And then we can pipe that in wherever we're coming into that from. And so we're probably going to have you guys our conveyor and your conveyor sorter into cargo container, which is feeding whatever monstrosity we strap to the front of this thing. It's going to have 2 feed lines on it. Alright, so I think that gets our initial weapons mostly sorted, I believe. I mean, I guess because I don't want to put an explosive box directly below the turret, which is why we've been placing conveyor junctions here, and then somewhere over here we're putting the ammo feed for it. Yeah, I'll do that. Actually, no. I'm gonna put those towards the aft section. Yeah, we'll put that there. I may have to relocate what we have on the other side. Alright, and then you have a sorter feeding you. Feeding in. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to have these set up so that once ammo is produced, it stages in this cargo container, and for the other array we'll stage in that container. But I don't want it backfeeding through our network, because I don't want to have ammo suddenly appear and say like our primary material storage, which is going to have nothing explosive in it. It's just going to have the raw materials scrap whatever we pull off of the stuff. But I want things to feed through there, because we're going to have a connector on the ship that we use for resupply. Oh. So that'll pull that stuff. And this is going to pull from these guys. So this will have a line feeding through where it pulls materials. There's going to be a sorting block on the line in, and then there will be another sorting block on the line out. Again, because we don't want it to feed back through the network, we only want it to feed through one direction. And then that lets me stage ammo here, which will feed our main forward battery, and then we have a mirror of that on the other side, also feeding the main forward battery. The reason I have these set up this way is because what I want to do is have decentralize the ammo generation process or building process, and have it away from vital materials. So if this, basically, if something out here blows up, we're only really losing, you know, the ammo feed for the weapons that have already been disabled. And maybe a chunk of the ship if the ammo rack detonates. Alright. Grab some power really quick. How are we going for 2? We're okay so far. Grab this. So hopefully that makes sense. It might make more sense once I have everything piped in. I don't have a wiring schematic for this thing yet. So that's going to be all fed through there. To feed into this array, we're going to need that piped in back this way, which also gets piped into all of this. So we can actually go ahead and do that. Oh, nope, not sorter. Ooh. The fact that I can tell that was a sorting block by looking at the model actually kind of terrifies me. And that'll feed back into here. I'm not quite sure where we're going to put. I'll probably put the sorter here and then have it feed there. And we'll do the same on the other side. So let's go ahead and get these piped in for the most part. And you're going to go... you know what? Do I want a sorting block? Where do I want to put it? I'll probably just put it right here. Yeah, because if we just do that... Ah, crap. And then that'll allow us to mirror on, we'll basically mirror that on the other side. We've got you are a feed line for our farm area, so I actually want that to tie back, and I think we're going to have that run down the keel into this conveyor. I don't think I need anything branching off of that. Oh no, I actually will need one branch on it because I'm going to need to put in a connector line so we can attach to the station. Yes, ISSI's inventory manager can push things around the network for you. The problem is that if I have a weapon on a separate grid or on a different portion of the network, it can pull from any of the containers. And so what can happen is if I'm not paying attention, I could end up with things getting backed up into areas that I don't want them. And so this just eliminates that risk. So, yeah, basically what I want to do is I don't want a situation where, let's say I've got all of these guys producing ammo for, say, railguns, and all of these guys are producing ammo for, 30mm cannons. And just maybe say one of these is producing ammo for railguns, right? I don't want the ammo from this one being pulled for the part of the network that's being fed by these guys. That's why I've got the sorting blocks in. Yeah, basically that's what we're going to end up with, is we're going to have quotas, and I'm going to have things pushing to specific boxes. So yeah, because that way, basically, I don't want to have, like I said, I don't want to have a situation where I have things cross-feeding over the entirety of the network. where I may end up with things in a storage box that I'm not expecting, and if that storage box gets hit and detonates, that would be very, very bad. And so we're trying to minimize that kind of stuff. I don't know how far I'm going to take this down, actually. I mean, it wouldn't be a complete loss to have it right here. What I may do is this. Take you out for a second. How about if we do... that should be good enough to put in a... And we're just going to put that in for now, just to remind me that I'm going to put a connector on that. I just don't know how far down that's going to go yet. I'm thinking it's going to have to clear two armor blocks. So I need to drop it down probably one more. But I want to tie it into the armor structure too, so... And then that goes... nothing over here needs to sort. Actually. Junction box. And then we can run that. We'll just do this simple. I'm not going to run a whole line down there because I'm going to try and keep this PCU friendly. And as you guys know, the larger your conveyor networks, the more conveyor blocks you have, the more unfriendly the ship gets. Okay. Oh, lost stream. Should be back. It's a Friday. I'm assuming my ISP is messing with me again. Ah, I'm out of water. I'm out of water, and my dog doesn't have opposable thumbs, so that's not good. Okay. Oh. So it sounds like somebody just smacked my ship. I didn't hear the main guns fire. Alright. Welcome back. Alright, so I think... now it's really just reproducing this on the other side. I'm really hoping... I didn't see when the next DLC drop is supposed to happen. So for those who don't know, and if you haven't been following Merrick's blog over for Keen Software House, they have announced that there's going to be an additional DLC drop, which will introduce some of the blocks that people have been waiting for. One of the blocks that's on that list is a actual 3-connection T section for conveyors, and I'm hoping it's for both conveyors and conveyor pipes. The reason why I'm really hoping we get those sooner rather than later is because a regular conveyor junction, my understanding is, in the way that the code works, is that this little beastie is less complex than this little beastie. So basically, this thing has a virtual inventory on it. This thing doesn't. So having lots of these is fine. Having lots of these is bad. And so what I'm hoping to be able to do is replace all of those with T-joints. That's why I've been kind of hesitant to get too far into the networking design on this, which, you know, is biting me in the ass at this point. Oh, okay. Oopsie. No, go back. There we go. Alright, so I'm thinking, I get this there. We just need to get the supply set here, which I think we're going to go... I mean, I could loop that up and back. Take that through here. And then that can be left open. I think we're going to go... I think we're going to go here. I think we'll put a conveyor there. And then we'll just run this way. And down, which feeds into that monstrosity. Here are conveyor junction, which is good. That's going to feed those guys. Feeds these guys. And then we'll put another assembler on the back of here, which gives us 3 assemblers feeding these things. I'm probably going to need to put more basic assemblers in, or actually regular assemblers, just not upgraded. Because the 3 that are here are going to be upgraded as much as possible. And I might actually drop one more down here. Because if I drop one here, I can feed across a couple. That might be a thing. And then we can upgrade the we can put upgrade modules on them. Maybe span them if we need to. Okay, I think we've got an idea. And then that leaves basically just armoring this beast up and start greebling. So I may have this just fade down into that line. And you are going to be there. Yeah, I think we'd probably get away with doing that. So basically what we're going to have here is that we'll have something that does this. And you go that way. And you goes this way. Just to give you a better idea of what we're looking at here for this thing when it's done. And you're going to go that way. And rinse and repeat. It's actually going to come... This will actually come out further, I think. Yeah, it's got to come out like one more block, but just to give you an idea. So we'll end up with this whole thing being a flat plane as far as armor is concerned, and then we'll greeble on top of that to give us the line that we're looking for. I mean, it's very possible I may actually just go with a 45, have this do a gradual 30 into a 45 at this point. That might not be a bad way to take it. It might actually end up working out better. So if we do, I'm kind of curious as to how this line's going to work if we do this. I mean, I can always add to the network too if I need to. I'm not too worried about it. Well, that actually works out pretty well. Of course, if I was going to go flat like that, I could probably just go ahead and use the gantry ones, the flat gantries, and put them on the flat here. No, I like them being sloped there. So we'll probably leave it. We'll probably end up leaving it something like that. And you guys, I may do a cut in or something here.
Energy critical.
Just to bring it all back together, but we'll see. So from above, let's show you what that's looking like. It's starting to look like an actual ship now, right? Hey, Bitfighter. Yeah. Thank you for the better explanation of what I was trying to explain. Yeah. All right, so I think that's going to do it for us today. I have a bit more I need to map out. So I'm trying not to get too tucked in on this. Let me check here really quick. I think that is off by one. Yep, I'm off by one up there. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call this one here. I want to thank y'all for stopping in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun hanging out with y'all. When we come back on Monday, I'm going to have as much of what we have here welded up as possible. I'm not quite sure how many hours of mining we're looking at for this, but yeah, we're going to do it. So we'll get as much of this welded up over the weekend as we can between now and Monday. I think for next week, we may change up the schedule a little bit. Basically, we'll still be planning on all of the live streams.
Energy.
All of the live streams at 1 p.m. Pacific, which puts us at 4 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to do Space Engineers. I think if the new Emporium Reforged drops, we'll start doing that on Wednesday. So we'll have Space Engineers Monday, Wednesday. Tuesday will be the Leaky O2 Space Engineer series, and then Wednesday will be Emporium. It just gives me a little bit more time in between sessions to get the resource gathering and stuff done. So we're not doing so much of that kind of stuff on camera. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Enjoy your weekend. And that's a crazy world out there, man. Stay safe, everybody. As always, take care, and we'll see you back here next time.